I liked the storyline. I thought it was kind of cool that we finally have a war game that has, Vietnam in it, because nobody really.
You see a lot of World War One, World War Two.
Exactly. You've got World War One, World War Two. Nobody talks about the Korean War, the Vietnam War, anything like that. It was just kind of cool.
And you got a lot of war in Afghan. You got newer and older, but you don't have. Yeah.
And it was kind of nice to see, the hell that war was, because a lot of people didn't see that. And I loved the storyline. It flowed together real well, but at the end, I don't know. I mean, the ending was kind of cheesy, and I thought that Mason should have been older, I guess, by the time the game was over, because you go through so many different stages of America's history. I mean, you've got Nam, you've got several.
And I think it was interesting that they actually started with the Cuban Missile Crisis. Speaking of that history,
you've got the Cuban Missile Crisis there, and then it jumps to Nam, and then you jump to another area, where you're Hudson and you're taking intel from a guy and stuff like that, and it was a really good storyline. It developed the character really well, and it gave you some insight into, what kind of hell he went through in his captivity and that, and why he was so screwed up and why it was important. But I don't know, it just felt like, at the same time, it felt like it jumped around a little too much.
Yeah, and I don't know, I enjoyed watching it, and I enjoyed the cinematics that were in it, and I think it was really well done. But I think you're right, it seemed like there was something missing there, and something was just off towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like the pieces didn't entirely fit together. I mean, it flowed real well as a game, and you'd see things,
and from one mission to the next, it worked.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it was like, okay, that makes sense. We've got to go here to do this because this guy's an idiot in this level, but it was like, okay, wait a minute, you're going from here to here to here to here in real life, so.
Right, and the real time seemed like it was much too short for the distance you traveled.
Okay.
So multiplayer, man. I think it was really cool that they started out, they started being able to do character customization. The only thing I didn't like, though, was...
I don't like the cinematography of it. I mean,
I don't either. And
great,
after every match,
it's a great game, and you've got the great... I mean, the customization is awesome, because I don't know about you, but I like having an extended mag, and in Modern Warfare 2, that was the problem. You
had to
wait forever to get that.
But see, I like that earning it. I don't like the fact that you can buy things like that right off the bat. I think that really should be earned.
I don't know. I mean, I think that it's good to be able to earn it, but a lot of people that do it are hardcore Call of Duty players, so they've already gone through and been through hell to make their classes with infrared scopes and thermal scopes, stuff like that.
Right. And part of the fun of getting that new game, from Call of Duty 4 to Modern Warfare 2, you had to start over.
Yeah, I mean it is, and I understand the whole working for it and that, but at the same time, when you've got people that just want to play the game, like me. I mean, I don't know about you, but I work full time. I mean, stuff like that. I don't have time to always come home and just spend a day of my week on the game constantly, and that's kind of nice for people that are casual gamers that know the game, that know what they like to use, but don't have the time to unlock it constantly.
That is true, and I do like that in the fact that what you're saying, casual gamers can come in and automatically have the upgrades. Because I remember in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I would constantly struggle because of I wouldn't have the proper gun, like the AK-47 wasn't until level 60 or whatever. It was just the most ridiculous thing ever to wait for. Plus, it was overpowered when you got it. But I think they should be earned a little bit more. They do unlock guns at certain levels, but when you get to the higher levels, it's once again you can save up all your money, get to a higher level, buy it, and it's almost a one-shot kill again. So it's becoming more of a fact that you're not unlocking things along the way.
Yeah.
You are saving up for that one thing.
Okay. Anyways, because we're going to agree to disagree on that part.
I'm okay with that.
What did you think of the gun selection and
items
and accessories, things like that?
I thought it was really cool. They brought the Enfield and stuff, and
I love the Nova 6 gas and that, because
exactly.
you can use that, and you see that in the game itself, and it's awesome.
Right.
But
I mean, besides the fact that I think some of that stuff they put a little overpowered, like the
RC
flamethrower,
car.
RC car, they threw those things in. Those things are really cool ideas. I think they could have done it a little bit better, but that's just my opinion. I mean,
absolutely.
So, I really liked that though, like the fact that they were more interactive with the kill streaks. Like you got the chopper gunner, and you were actually like the gunner.
Exactly. Yeah, you didn't have this little infrared. Oh, I'm just gonna shoot out of nowhere. I mean, you actually have a turret there where you're moving it around shooting.
And what I liked even better about it was then, I mean, it was kind of overpowered, but you get what's the final kill streak again? You know what I'm talking about though. It's like you're the pilot and you're firing bullets down on people, and that was really cool actually because once again, you really felt like you were in that plane.
Absolutely.
I mean, the visuals are more cartoony. It is more world.
The visuals are a little more cartoony. Yes, absolutely.
However, it does put you in that
I like the it's got a little more realistic feel. However, I hate the servers right now. And,
the servers are not good. I think they should have done some beta testing.
But when you've got a game that is easily one of the most anticipated games of 2010 period, I don't understand why they didn't throw out a beta. I mean, you saw Medal of Honor, and a lot of people, maybe that's why it suffered a little bit later on, because, Medal of Honor, a lot of people got it, and they're like, oh, this looks amazing. And then they realized the campaign's great, but the multiplayer is not, what it was all chalked up to be.
And unfortunately, I think that's what Black Ops is right now. However, I think in the future, if Treyarch works on their servers a little bit, their ability to handle the servers, like the upload and whatnot,
and you don't lag right into 30 rounds from an LMG.
Yeah, like I've noticed a lot of times I've been struggling with getting onto a match because it'll time out, like it'll say the party's no longer active.
Oh, we're searching 50 games. Now there's only 28. Oh, you can only choose from 3. Oh, we're gonna try again.
Exactly. Like it just kind of. I mean, getting into a match is a pain, and it needs to be fixed. However, the match itself, I think, is really well done overall. So.
Absolutely.
Nazi zombies.
Pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, it's the exact same game. It's a lot better looking.
It is. You could see the chalk on the wall. You could see where the weapons were that you could buy. Same basic game though. You go around. You pick apart the wooden barriers, you build them back up, you keep zombies
but
away.
It does, like you said, it is a lot easier to see. You see the guns on the wall. You can decipher, okay, there's a wall and there's the floor. You can see the crack in between. It's not just this dark, dingy, oh my god, there are 2 glowing eyes coming after me thing anymore.
Yeah, you could definitely determine where a zombie was and where, like, the blur of the floor and the ceiling met.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got the crawlers and all that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. At the end of every round,
here's a word of advice. If you've got a crawler, don't let your buddy jump over them.
No, it is fun to jump over them.
It's fun until one of them trips and kicks him in the head, killing the zombie.
That was Shapoopy, and that was not a good choice.
When that happens, especially when you've got a Hellhound round afterwards, you're kind of fucked.
It is really fun, but at the same time, like I think it was much better done. Like it was much better done. I need to edit that. It was very well put together. Like you could see where you were going. There was multiple levels. You could go into different rooms. You opened doors. It wasn't just a single room.
Absolutely. Yeah, in a word, it was pretty cool. I mean, it's leaps and bounds better than the original Zombies in
World at War. So
it gives you a lot better feel. It makes it a little scarier. I mean, if you're playing by yourself, there are points where you go, "Oh my God, get away, get away!" But it's still doable. In World at War, there were certain parts where you're like, "I don't really want to play this because it just makes me sad."
And I think also as well with Nazi zombies in this one compared to World at War, you want to play with other people. Like with World at War, you didn't really want to play online because it was kind of laggy. It didn't it seemed to take away from it, especially with putting 4 people in a room where you already couldn't see yourself and they couldn't see us. You run into each other. With this one, you know exactly where everybody is. You don't waste any ammo because you can always see who's a zombie and who's on your team. And you want to play online.
And it's fun because that's one part of the servers that they did get right, that Treyarch got right. either that or just nobody wants to play because I had a bad experience before. But it's very well done. It's a beautiful segment of the game.
Absolutely.
So.
All right, so overall, out of 10, what do you give it?
I'd probably say 8.5. That's mainly based on the campaign, just because if you look at that campaign, it's the development of the characters was great. The cinematography was amazing, and it had a lot of really good flow in that part of the game. I don't know. Online, I'm kind of bitter because the couple of games I played before before it all lagged out. It was great, but the servers are horrible. So.
Right, and because of the servers, I'm actually going to knock mine out of 10 down to about a 7. I really like the campaign. Cinematics are well, like you said. I love the storyline. It flowed really well, one level to the next, with the exception of the space gap and the distance. But the storyline made sense. Multiplayer, I love the maps. However, servers need work. They needed to do some testing on it.
A lot of work.
As well, I love zombies. I haven't noticed any lag in zombies. Like you said, I don't know if that's because nobody wants to play or if that's because they just did really well on that part. But I love zombies, love campaign, love online with the exception of the occasional laggy game. So I'm going to give it a 7.
Sounds good.